Hi everyone, good morning. My name is Anat Hersch and I'm leading the Advanced Visualization and Insights business category within Philips. I want to start today with a very simple question. When is the last time you felt that you have enough time? I can assume that none of us really feel that we have enough time. Now imagine a radiology department and think about the radiologists that are working there. They need to deal every day with increasing complexity. They need to deal every day with major data sets. There is a lot of interruptions going on. If we can help them and we can give them a bit more time, then they can actually use this time to spend on patients, to spend on thinking, to spend on collaborating. So today's speech and talk is not about how we can use AI, but how we can actually create time for what matters most. And I want to start with a short video.
Imagine if you had a little more time. Time to care. Time to connect. To focus. Live. Discover. Time to see more. Time to welcome. To be there. To go home. Time to talk, share, love, and care. Our innovations help you care faster, smarter, better, easier. Giving back time for what matters most. Better care for more people. Philips.
So I really love this video because it really reminds us that time is not only about efficiency. It really means if we have time, we can make better decisions, we can have better conversations, and we can have more confidence in what we're doing. And the most important thing is that we can have more attention to patients. So let's see how we can make it real for the radiology teams.
Imagine.
Okay, I don't know how many of you are familiar with radiology departments, but what is happening in radiology departments is that they are being asked to do much more than they used to do. Now, their fundamental needs have not changed, okay? They need advanced visualization tools. They need tools to interpret the images that are coming from different scanning devices, from CT, from MR, from XR, and from NM. Okay? And this is happening across all different clinical domains. To be able to do this, they need to have the tools inside their workflow. So they can't have any interruptions. They can't have systems that are not connected. They need to have these tools inside their workflow, preferably integrated into PACS. So this is something that we're really thinking of how we can help them with and how we can help with AI to make it easier for them so they can actually have time and not spend it on clicking and on going through a workflow which is not efficient. The other thing that is happening in radiology departments is that they're treated also as a business. So they're expected to be profitable, they're expected to be efficient. So everything that they can put inside the workflow, inside the clinical practice, has to show an ROI, really to show a return of investment. Having said that, there is additional things that we also need to remind ourselves and to make sure that we're keeping in mind. Efficiency and time is important, but if we will go to the radiology report and the measurements are not going to be accurate enough, we haven't done anything. So this is also something that we cannot compromise on. And the last thing, of course, in this world is the IT, the deployments. It has to be scalable, and it has to go to be on-prem, on-cloud, hybrid, depending on the needs of the customer. So as I said, the needs has not changed. What has actually changed is our ability by the technology to address those needs and to do it at scale. So if I'm talking about image analysis varies quite a lot along the clinical workflow. It starts at the beginning with the scanners, so where the image is acquired. When the image is acquired, it's really important that the image quality is going to be good, that there is a completeness of information there. And also to make sure that we don't need to rescan patients again. So while we're doing image acquisition, we want to make sure that the image that we're taking, we can actually use it for the clinical diagnosis. And we don't need to call the patient again to the hospital to do a rescanning. So this is one part of the imaging tools. Then when we're going along the care, then we're talking about triaging. So now we have scanned many patients. We really need to know who is the most important patient. We need tools that will put the most, and when I say most important, most urgent, right? So it's according to urgency. And we need tools to be able to do it for us in the background. Then when we're going again along the continuum of care, we're talking about diagnostic tools. So now we have the images, we have prioritized the patients, now we need to know what is the diagnosis. We want to help the radiologist to come to the best diagnosis, to the fastest diagnosis, with the best confidence that he can have. Once this is done, there is another angle to image analysis. It can be used actually for treatment planning. So now the results, the images, everything that we have segmented can be used to plan the treatment that is going to come. So really image analysis solves different kinds of problems along different moments in the continuum of care. So now let's talk a bit about what happened in the last 20 years. There is two things that happened. We see a change in technology, and we see a change in deployments. So it started when we had advanced visualization tools for 3D reconstructions, for MPRs. Then it went into creating algorithms behind the scenes that are segmenting different organs, that is bringing additional layer of information. This was done by rule-based algorithms. Then it started to move into creating AI algorithms, what we call traditional AI. Now we're moving into an era of foundational models that I will explain shortly. What also happened is that at first, the image analysis was done at the scanner. So you had to sit at the scanner, look at the images, and do your image analysis. Then it moved to a dedicated workstation. Today, nobody is sitting at a dedicated workstation. You can do it in a reading room, you can do it from your office, you can do it everywhere, and you can do it from home. So this is where also cloud is very helpful, because you also don't have to store it at the hospital on-premise, you can store it at the cloud. So really, and this slide, I have a story about it. So MIXiii was supposed to be 3 months ago. And at this slide, I had a slide saying that we're at the start of a new era. 3 months have passed. And when I looked again at my slides, I said, we're deep into the new era. I think that all of you feel it in everything that you are doing. The AI is changing the way we think, the way we operate, the way we develop products. And for image analysis, it's really deep into it right now. And what we see is that there is focus, there is real momentum, and the technology is coming together. The other thing that we see is that hospitals are moving from experimenting, from trying, from piloting, to real adoption. And there was also another study that was published, I think, last week, that also showed already hospitals are actually showing how they have created efficiency and how this is actually helping them already in the clinical practice. So we're in this transformation, and this transformation is really, if I'm taking now the 3 domains, AI adoption, foundational models, orchestration, and workflow, this is becoming 3 things that are taking this domain and are changing the way we create value, okay? So AI adoption is really maturing. If you are going out there and you are checking how many AI image analysis tools are approved, they are growing from month to month. So there is many different companies that are developing tools, and they're being approved by regulatory bodies. What we also see is that the regulators are much clearer to us. What do they expect? what kind of guidelines they want to put in place. And this is really helping to see how to progress in this domain. Then when we're talking about foundational model, this is really from where the change is coming. So when I told you that there is discrete AI algorithms that we were developing along the years, now with the foundational models, what we're able to do, we're able to take and train large data, we're able to train the models on large data sets. And then it is ready, and then we can fine-tune it for a specific use case. So it's really a game changer from the speed of development towards how we can actually create value and help the radiologist. I'm showing you here a bit of how an optimal or a successful workflow can look like. So it starts from work list prioritization, as we said, in the PACS. This is happening by the AI behind the scenes. It, of course, gives the flagging to the radiologist, so you can tweak it, you can approve it, you can maybe disagree with it. Then we go into the primary reading. When the radiologist is reading the images, it has additional information inside, and they can really learn from it and see what to do with it. If you're looking for an opportunity, there is something that is still not resolved. A lot of companies are creating AI and they're putting it inside the workflow, but they don't give the ability to edit it. And this is not resolved yet by any company, because the formats are different, and this is something that I'm sure that we will be able to resolve soon. Okay, I'm being sad that I don't have much more time, so I want to leave you with two more things. Unlearn your limits. This is something that was said by our Chief Innovation Officer around February this year. When I looked at this at the beginning, I thought to myself, what does it mean? But just think about it. Everything that you thought that is impossible 2 years ago, or 1 year ago, or even half a year ago, is possible today. So if you're still working as you were 1 year ago, 6 months ago, 2 months ago, try to see what can be changed. Because it's really, the pace is amazing, and it can really change things for us. And ultimately, everything that we're doing, we're not doing it for algorithms, we're not doing it for dashboards or for efficiency. We're doing this for people. We want to make sure that clinicians will have enough time to focus. We want to make sure that radiologists will have enough time to make confident diagnosis, and patients to receive an answer soon and not to wait in anxiety. So healthcare does not need AI just because it exists. Healthcare needs AI because clinicians need time. They need time to think, they need time to collaborate, and they need time to care. And if we will be able just to give them a bit more time, we'll do something really meaningful. Thank you.